So far away Lucas, and lovely audience at home, same question. What is your favourite accent?
Ooh, okay, probably somewhere in Ireland. I can't pinpoint Irish accents, but generally speaking, I just, find them very endearing.
You know what? It's the correct choice. I think that's like widely considered to be the sexiest and nicest sounding accent. I know Yorkshire isn't, so sorry.
You fat bastard.
Accents are a lot like people's opinion on the Star Wars movies. A lot of people have them, some are terrible, and some are completely incomprehensible.
Insert clip here from Hot Fuzz.
I couldn't see the view anymore. Was he mumbo?
Right. What did he say?
Said edge is edge, huh? He only chopped him down because he couldn't see the view no more. What's he mumbo?
What did he say?
He said an edge is an edge. He only chopped it down because it spoiled his view. What's he moaning about?
Perhaps no individual's accent has caused more bafflement than the one possessed by actor Richard Madden, whose Scottish brogue resulted in a lot of Americans thinking that he was having sex with his mum.
So are we talking about Game of Thrones here?
We're not talking about Game of Thrones, no, but most people probably recognise Richard Madden from Game of Thrones, where he played Robb Stark, or, if you're attracted to handsome bearded men, Throb Stark. Look at the picture I put in the article, Luke. You tell me that's not Throb Stark.
I mean,
look at that man.
Richard Madden is a very attractive person.
He's a very handsome man, yes.
Are you comfortable in dealing with someone who is much better looking than you?
I suppose that's possible.
I think most people just liked the Starks from second one, because those Robb and Jon Snow. Well, Robb Stark and Jon Snow was pretty fine.
Yes, so in Game of Thrones, Richard Madden was forced to suppress his natural Scottish accent because he was playing the son of Ned Stark, played by Sean Bean, the world's most Yorkshire man.
Bastard.
And let's be honest, he's the world's most Yorkshire man. One of my favourite stories about Sean Bean is he was in the pub with his girlfriend, got stabbed, finished his pint, then went to the hospital.
And one of my favourite stories of him on Game of Thrones is that all of the Starks became Yorkshire because he refused to change his accent.
So Sean Bean is famous for never, ever really talking any other accent than his own. And the times where he does are really weird because you can tell he can't do it. No shade, but he clearly can't do many accents. That is not a skill he has in his acting repertoire.
Alec? Back from the dead. No longer just an anonymous star on the memorial wall at MI6. What's the matter, James? No glib remark? No pithy comeback?
No, he definitely becomes a lot more neutral in Lord of the Rings when he's playing Boromir, but even then you can, hear it a bit, right?
He flattens his accent out, so he has the ability to flatten it out a little.
Even now, there is hope left. But I cannot see it.
As you mentioned for Game of Thrones, all the people playing the Stark children had to copy his accent. And the reason why Sean Bean felt comfortable telling the producers to fucking do one when they asked him not to speak in his native Yorkshire accent is because he knew that there was no other actor in mind to play Ned Stark. So there's nothing they could do about it.
It's just, you haven't got a backup, so I'm doing a Yorkshire accent. And everyone else just had to adjust.
Yes, and according to Richard Madden, when he learned this, he's like, okay, I'm going to learn how to do a Yorkshire accent. Specifically, I'm going to learn how to do Sean Bean's Yorkshire accent.
We make proper brews. Brews that bring a tear to your eye and warmth to your soul. So go out there and do it for each other. Do it for yourselves, but most of all, do it for Yorkshire!
I'll even go out and watch a bunch of Sean Bean movies to better learn how to emulate his Yorkshire accent. The problem was that Sean Bean died so early in a lot of his movies, he had to keep renting new ones. Because Sean Bean died so quickly in the movies that there wasn't enough time to get used to his way of talking before he died.
He was real good at dying.
He's really good. I love his nickname in Hollywood, The Walking Spoiler. Right? Dude always fucking died. Getting back to Madden, in 2018 he was cast as the titular protector of people in the BBC short series Bodyguard.
Are you comfortable dealing with someone who is really quite a lot posher than you?
Definitely. I'm used to that, sir.
If you've not seen it, you've probably seen like this screenshot from Bodyguard of him just looking so sharp.
Yes, I have seen like trailers for Bodyguard. I've never watched it, but goddamn, 2018 was like that hot period where all those Game of Thrones kids were being cast.
Yeah,
right?
and I think of all the Game of Thrones kids, he's one of the better actors. Like, Bodyguard is a legitimately fantastic show. I rewatched it recently, which is what made me want to do this video, so I can, like, you know, make use of that knowledge and easily track down the clips that I reference.
Mm-hmm. No, I always enjoyed Richard Madden and things I have happened to see him in, yeah.
Yes, and like Richard Madden took the role incredibly seriously. He underwent like a lot of preparation for playing a bodyguard, including learning all of the technical jargon a bodyguard would use.
Control sit rep, Sierra Zulu 79.
Go ahead, 79.
Shooter is located on roof of Pasco House 1000 feet south of Thornton Circus. Single shooter only.
Receiving 79.
Yeah, because I imagine in like high stakes bodyguard work there has to be a lot of just, you know, code words and things like that so that you can't be sussed out.
It's not even so much about the code names, it's more just making the dialogue sound naturalistic, and the banter between himself and other people in that field sounded natural.
I intend to put you forward for a commendation. There's even talk of a medal.
Thank you very much, Mum.
Obviously, Thornton Circus will have to be looked into by the IOPC as the gunman died at the scene, but all the witnesses say you acted with complete professionalism.
There's 101 places I need to be.
And there's one particular piece of bodyguarding jargon that Richard Madden used and affected throughout the show that ended up confusing the fuck out of Americans watching at home. So, a bodyguard generally will refer to a female principal, that's the name for the person they're protecting, as Ma'am. M-A-A-M. Ma'am.
Yes.
There's multiple ways to pronounce that. Supposedly the correct way is to rhyme with jam, so ma'am.
Mom, thanks for coming down.
What's going on?
But some people stretch the A's to make it sound more like received pronunciation. Like, you know, someone from down south would say it, like, mom. But supposedly, like, the quicker way, ma'am, is more correct.
Right, okay. I always assumed that it was meant to be pronounced as if there was an R in there, like, as you say, stretching out the A's to make it like mom.
Yes. Like, the thing is, language is ever evolving.
Yes.
And, yeah, but I have heard that mom, it's not pronounced mom, because I used to work in civil service, and I got told, like, it's not mom, it's mam. It's like, well, in my accent, that just makes me sound like an idiot. It makes me sound like I'm talking to my mum, or me mam, which is, oddly enough, what happened with Richard Madden, because when he was allowed to speak with his native Scottish accent, when he said mom, it came out sounding like he was saying mom.
Very good, Mum. Thank you, Mum. Mum. Pleasure to meet you, Mum. Can't say for certain, Mum. Mum. Yes, Mum. Yes, Mum.
Which wasn't too much of an issue for people watching from the UK, because you can just pick up on the context, right? Well, you know he's saying mom, but he's pronouncing it with a Scottish accent, so it sounds like mom. And mom for mum isn't used as commonly over here.
Yeah, no, it's like the way that we would normally say mother is mum rather than mam or mom.
Mom.
Yeah.
Even though the more you say it, the more it sounds like the same word anyway, but I have had in the past, so an issue I've had over my career online is that I have to think in American English, because a lot of the places that I would write and create content for had a primarily American audience. This channel has a primarily American audience.
Yeah.
And as a result, there's a lot of Americanisms that have slipped into my vocabulary over the years. I've tried really hard not to like use them all that much, but it's difficult. Like, for example, I'll occasionally say like, trash instead of rubbish, or pants instead of trousers. Or on occasion I've said mom instead of mum, because just I'm thinking in the American voice so much. I don't think that's that a big a deal. And I don't think I've ever told this story on the channel, but there was a period for about 2 years where a guy was so mad at that every week they sent me like a harassing email, and every time I blocked it they make a new one, offering to fly me out to America to fist fight them at their expense because they were so annoyed. And I think their specific wording was, you sound like a kid who went on holiday to America once and pronounces words like Americans. That's really annoying. I want to fight you for doing that.
I also just think that happens to a lot of us because we consume so much American media. Like, I often, without thinking, it's not a thing that I've tried to do, it's just a thing I picked up, is like, I often use terms like awesome or y'all, and like, I don't think about that, it just happens, but like, there's so many people who get annoyed that I would use the word, like, a word like awesome. It's like, we don't say that in the UK. It's like, well, I do. Sometimes I accidentally say dollars because I'm just, again, thinking in American terms.
Because I primarily get paid in American dollars. So for me, just, dollars is a word I'll sometimes use instead of pounds. And I think the word they still got annoyed about is that I would say ass instead of arse. And they got so, like I said, so annoyed by that, they legit offered to fly me out to America to fight me. And I was like, always tempted to take that offer and film it. just so I could get a free trip.
The level of pettiness required to be that arse.
That's what got me. It's like, it's literally one letter.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was that big a deal. But people get really upset by this. And I kind of get it. But then also I don't. Because it's a word.
We're such a, like, connected culture at this point because of the internet and because a lot of the, like, American media's been over here for so many years. So many years. Like, our entire life, right? And
yeah, I mostly don't get why Americans get upset by it, because Americans don't like it when they have to acknowledge that other countries and places exist. Surely they'd be happy that everyone's speaking in Americanized English?
Yeah, they're winning the war at that point. And it kind of reminds me of the silliness when people get mad that, like, oh, but you said croissant instead of, like, croissant? Or, like...
espresso instead of espresso.
Well, espresso is different, because then you're saying the word wrong. You're saying that with an X. But, like, when you don't go, like, oh, chorizo...
Oh, you don't put, like, the accent on. You're pronouncing it the right way, but you're not putting, like, the mock accent of someone from that place would. Like, Mexico instead of Mexico. It's like, well, Mexico is perfectly acceptable, and people from Mexico know what I fucking mean when I say Mexico.
Where are we? Where's the museum?
Oh, will you forget the museum? The Mexico I want my students to see is not on any map.
I haven't interacted with a French person that was annoyed that I said the word croissant.
Mostly French people are just annoyed that you're talking to them, right?
Exactly, right? But, like, it's other people getting offended on their behalf of, like, you didn't pronounce it correctly.
Barcelona. That's one, right? That's a popular one.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. If it said, like, the espresso one, okay, that makes sense, because that's literally not how the word is spelled.
Yeah, you're putting an X where an S should be, yes.
But when it's something like it's croissant, it's like, well, you're not pronouncing it with a French accent. It's like, well, I'm not fucking French, am I?
No. But do you want me to every now and then just slip a French accent in there, like, specifically like, croissant?
Well, I think there's a joke sort of about this by the comedian Shappy Corsandi, where she like talks about how this can like sometimes backfire, where she met like the delivery driver from like a Chinese restaurant, and she's like chatting with him. It's like, oh, so what's your name? He's like, oh,
and I said, so what's your name? And he said, Comiton. And I did that very PC thing of I repeated his name and I added a Chinese accent to it to show that I cared very much about the correct pronunciation. I said, oh, I see, Comiton.
Call me Tom.
Oh, no.
Not that that's a joke told by a comedian, but I imagine that's like
an
exaggeration of a thing that probably did happen at some point. It's like, that's the risk you get into when you try too hard.
Yeah.
To, like, emulate the accents and stuff in the place you're going without fully understanding it. Bringing it back to Bodyguard, it wasn't really an issue for people in the UK, because people in the UK are exposed to a wide variety of accents. And something that always frustrates me in regards to this is when you'll see, like, someone with a broad accent from the UK on, like, the American TV and they subtitle the person. It's like, they're speaking fucking English. It's just they've got a broad accent. It's like, I can understand someone from, like, the deep south in America. Perfectly fine. I might not understand all of, like, the colloquialisms, but I can understand what they're saying, because they're speaking English.
Tell you what, Hank, about that dang old meaning of life, man. It's like this, man. You like a butterfly flapping his wings deep down in the forest, man. They're gonna cause a tree fall like 5,000 miles away, man. Ain't nobody see it, nobody don't even happen. You know, the baby's born into this world, and they don't got dang friends, got nothing but to go come in and find out all about them, evil, man.
It feels like really offensive to do that to someone who's speaking the language, just because they happen to have a heavy or broad accent.
Ball bag, you wee ball bag, is a scrotum, means you are a scrotum. Steaming, one of our 100,000 words for being drunk. Wee bit means a little amount. You know, like, were you drunk or were you steaming? Ach, a wee bit.
It seems to happen a lot when just Scottish people talk English and it's like, subtitled. It's like, really?
He's speaking English, so, you know, for British fans, they knew that Richard Madden's character was saying "ma'am," that he's just saying it with a Scottish accent. However, when the show landed on Netflix and was exposed to an American audience, a lot of confusion erupted, and there is a not insignificant amount of people who got really confused by the show because they assumed that Richard Madden was saying "mom."
What one?
On duty, Mum.
Soft drinks in the fridge.
No, thank you, Mum.
Do you prefer David or Dave?
Answer to both, Mum.
And that the person he was protecting, played by Keeley Hawes, was his mother. Which, okay, it's a strange assumption to make, but sure. That got doubly confusing, though, when, by like the second, third episode, those two characters start fucking. A lot.
I'm not the Queen. You're allowed to touch me.
Right, okay. Because, like, it's a little bit weird to hire a family member as a bodyguard because then
Also,
you're
the fact
saying
it never comes up, right?
Yeah, of
It
course,
never gets
yeah.
mentioned that, hey, you're going to be protecting your mother. They talk about it as if it's a person you've never met before.
A PC Knowles said your name's Bud.
Yes, Mum.
The officer who prevented the 1st of October rail attack. That was you.
Yes, Mum.
It's been a long and trying day. I'm sorry we got off on the wrong foot.
People watching the show were like writing reviews like, why is nobody talking about the fact he's fucking his mum?
Maybe they were just so used to Game of Thrones where incest just happens.
Maybe that's what got them. Maybe it's the Game of Thrones effect, right? Like, well, guess if you're going to get someone in to do an incest storyline, get someone from Game of Thrones. Right? They've got experience with that shit.
It's all over the place there. Why wouldn't they just keep that in their market, right?
Yeah. But I'm baffled that this was the case, but it's documented. You can find the old reviews of people like, whoa, this TV, what a twist. Fucking his mum. What's going on there? And it's all because just Richard Madden happened to have a very broad Scottish accent, and Americans weren't familiar with what that sounded like. He's speaking English with a very broad accent. It reminds me of, there's a film called 51st State, signed Samuel L. Jackson and Robert Carlyle. And it's like one of my guilty pleasure movies because it's so dumb. But I love it because it's set in like the 90s in the UK, and Robert Carlyle plays like a Manchester United supporter who's doing a drug deal to get tickets to a Manchester United game. And midway through the film, Sam Jackson gets taken to Manchester, but like an estate in Manchester. And just the fact that Samuel L. Jackson was on an estate in Manchester really cracks me up. Anyway.
Boys and girls of Manchester, just popped over from Liverpool to invite you to a little game of footy tomorrow afternoon. But I'm fucking fucked if you pricks are gonna win it.
Anyway, there's a moment in that film where he's talking to Robert Carlyle and he can't understand a fucking word he's saying. He's like, I thought you invented English, why does no fucker here speak it?
What the fuck did they do to this fish? Batter it to death?
Fish and chips, national dish, mate.
More like a national disaster.